Okay, we've just looked at how the fight or flight response works and the symptoms that can result because of it. And now it's important to try to connect it up with your panic attack symptoms. But first of all, let's look at what happens when you're confronted with real danger. Okay, so page 18. If these fight or flight sensations arise because of a clear and real danger, we realize that those symptoms are related to the danger and to our body's response to the danger. So we don't imagine that the symptoms themselves are harmful. And we know they'll die down once the danger is past. We've all been in a situation where we feel frightened. Our body has responded. We've gone tense. We might be sweating. We might go pale. All the blood will drain from our face and our hands. Our legs might become shaky. But we don't think that those sensations or symptoms are dangerous in themselves because we have a cause for those sensations. We say to ourselves, the reason I'm trembling is because of the danger. The reason I'm sweating is because of the danger. The reason I'm going pale, the reason I'm feeling numb or tingly is because of the danger. So we don't at all worry about the sensations, and we know that they will die down once we're feeling calm again and the danger has passed. So that's what the cartoon on page 18 is describing. Fire alarm goes off, clear danger. Fight or flight kicks in, all those symptoms. Shaking, trembling, nausea, sweating, rapid heartbeat, everything. It all happens to help you run away from the danger. But you realize that those symptoms are related to the danger, are harmless. And when you're past the danger, you just let it go and it all comes back to normal. So there's no panic. You don't panic about the sensations themselves. You may have a slight panic about the danger, but that's okay. Once that's passed, you're out of danger, you'll feel okay. So take that in very carefully. Page 19. If, however, fight or flight responses suddenly happen out of the blue and for no clear reason, think about what you would feel then. So you're just sitting in a restaurant and suddenly you have these fight or flight sensations and symptoms. There's no danger, there's no fire alarm, there's no no vicious animal, there's no one attacking you. You're just sitting having a meal. Suddenly your heart starts beating fast, you're feeling sweating, all the blood drains from your fingers, you feel a sense of impending doom, your eyes start acting strangely. So what do you think in that situation? Suddenly you think there's something wrong with me, okay? And that's when you panic, okay? So as it says in page 19, we evolved fight or flight to help us deal with life-threatening danger. But nowadays, we're still sort of left with the evolutionary response, but even though we're not continuously in danger from wild animals or other tribes or whatever, our bodies can still find it hard to distinguish between the stress of real danger and everyday stress such as work deadlines, rush hour traffic, bills, illness, relationship difficulties. These things can lead to an overflow of adrenaline, fight or flight, and it can just get triggered for no particular reason at all. It just happens in some people. So they're activated out of the blue, no obvious reason, and they can be very exaggerated and extremely alarming. And it can even happen while we're asleep. No danger while we're asleep, but these symptoms can be triggered. Again, if we were being chased by a tiger, we would know there's no problem here. All these symptoms are due to me being in danger. They'll all die down later on. But when there's nothing we can see that's clearly causing these symptoms, the only thing we can think of rationally is that there must be something wrong with us. We must be either very ill or going mad or even about to die. So we take it very seriously. And this is why we panic. Alright, people think a panic attack is something that happens out of the blue. Actually, the fight or flight response symptoms can happen out of the blue. The panic is what we add to that. It's how we react to those symptoms arising. So it's a very important distinction to make. Page 20. We panic because we make a mistake. Right? We don't actually panic because of stress or anxiety. It's not that straightforward. In fact, we may not even be aware of any obvious stress or anxiety. As we're saying, in a restaurant, we're just sitting eating a meal. Okay? We panic because the very alarming sensations that are suddenly produced by this fight or flight response for no clear reason terrify us, because we have to find a cause for these symptoms in our mind. And if we can't find a cause, then we must think it's internal, either physical or mental. So in clinical terms, the words we use to describe this process is we misinterpret the symptoms. Okay, this means we mistakenly believe that these symptoms mean something more serious. We misinterpret. And at the same time, we then catastrophize. Okay, you'll heard the word catastrophize. We think the absolute worst. We just completely blow it way off the scale. So the cartoon there, page 20, sitting in a restaurant, suddenly all these symptoms start arising. You start thinking, why am I feeling so strange? There must be something seriously wrong with me. And then you start to catastrophize. I don't feel good. I have to get out of here. I have to get away from this place. So there's a panic cycle on page 22. Basically, this mistake that we make leads to a cycle. Okay? So the irony is, when we misinterpret and catastrophize flight or fight sensations, the body, we actually send fear signals through the body that we're in danger, and the body in response tries to help again with more fight or flight symptoms. Okay, it releases more adrenaline, more cortisol, the symptoms increase, and then again we think there's definitely something seriously wrong here. So we become even more afraid, and we spiral in this way. This is the panic leads to more panic. Okay, and that's the panic cycle. Now, notice that the important part of the panic cycle, the place where we can do something about it, is where we misinterpret and catastrophize the symptoms. Okay, remember a few pages back, if we were in real danger and we felt the exact same symptoms, because we attribute the symptoms to a cause, we wouldn't be misinterpreting and we wouldn't catastrophize the symptoms. Okay, that's very important. We would just realize those symptoms are just symptoms and they'll die down, and they do die down. But if we misinterpret the symptoms, if we think something seriously wrong with us, if we catastrophize, if we think we'll never get better, we're going to die, then we will panic. And that panic will lead to an increase in the symptoms, and we get caught in this cycle.